Jeff Luhnow and A.J. Hinch, the GM and the skipper of the Astros, both respectively banned for 1 year by Major League Baseball, and since then they have been fired by the Astros. They got dented $5 million, which nobody cares about the money. But you need to know that that's the highest fine that Major League Baseball can levy. Because I do think I've seen one common thread on social media. Monetarily that's weak. That's a mere pittance for. I get that, but you couldn't do more than that. So that's out of control. That's not even that's not Manfred's fault. He wasn't weak there. He can't do anything more.
And by the way, when was the last time you saw someone fined $5 million? When was the last time you saw someone fined $1 million? It just doesn't happen.
The Pats were fined a little bit when they got.
I'm talking about baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
And so to hit the max. And it probably wasn't even a conversation. It wasn't like, oh, should we go to?
No, that was a gift. That was the first thing.
Should we do $2 million or $3 million? It's like, dude, they're getting $5 million, and now we got to figure out what the hell else we're going to do.
Correct. Right? Correct. Well said. And what else they're going to do? What the hell else they're going to do is this, which I think is a massive dent in their future, man. Yeah. Especially since they draft so well. The Houston Astros have lost their first and second round picks, not just in 2020. But in 2021, manager out for a year, now gone from the team. GM gone for a year, now gone from the team. First round pick 2020, gone. Second round pick 2020, gone. First round pick 2021, gone. Second round pick 2021, gone. I don't know what else you're asking for. But for a guy who was ranting and raving about this like a lunatic when this first went down in real time, that this was the most pivotal point in Rob Manfred's commissionership, nice job, Commissioner.
I was going to say,
well done.
All you can do is give him a serious pat on the back because he squashed it. Right? No team will ever think about doing this again. And the team that did it before, the Red Sox, the year before, we're still waiting on what's going to happen with their skip, who
I got a little something for you here.
This was with the Astros before, and likely a big part of the Astros doing what the Astros did that they now got penalized for. But just to add to your comment, BT. Major League Baseball had no other choice other than to do this because cheating is one thing. Cheating like they were cheating is another. I mean, I don't mean cheating like trying to steal signs or guy on second base, trying to look through the catcher's legs and, giving a wing or whatever it may be.
One arm up fastball,
to
change up, whatever.
Tip off the batter. Great. But
centuries.
But if you're the batter, what if the guy's wrong?
Yeah,
right?
No, we talked about that.
So it's give and take.
Yeah, sure.
To electronically manipulate, at least try to manipulate the game by stealing signs, relaying them intricately to batters and or coaches who are relaying to the hitters. I mean, that's just outside of what is acceptable, I think, in any sport. So Rob Manfred did the exact right thing here, and the Houston Astros now are faced with this perception / asterisk that a lot of people are going to throw on their championship.
Forget about that, which is
shame.
Which is true. I don't think it's a shame. I don't think it's a shame.
You know what I mean? But it's a shame because the team felt like it's a story. Like their story was amazing. Right, I remember I talked about this when it happened. But would
their story be their story if they didn't cheat?
I don't know, but remember...
We'll never know the answer to that.
Let's back up. So remember when they won the World Series?
Yeah.
Like I was raving about this Sports Illustrated cover that predicted that this group of young, like in the minors, working their way to the majors, group of kids were going to be your 2017 World Series champions. And guess what? They were. And they had the MVP right. And so it was unreal. Like the story was great. Now it feels tainted and ugly.
I do think that for those who think the punishment was weak, right?
But the punishment wasn't weak.
But watch, we're going to take calls, and I guarantee that there's going to be some people saying it's weak. 855-212-4227. I promise we'll take calls on this. But for those who think that, you have to understand, because we said this when it first went down, this is not the NCAA. So the option of vacating the title, of stripping the Astros of the championship trophy, was never in play. If you can reconcile that, one very important fact here, I mean, quite candidly, Tiki, I'll listen, I'm all ears. I don't know how anybody can intelligently or at least passionately say that Major League Baseball did not stiff arm and just destroy the Astros.
Yeah, well,
I think that they crushed them.
Yeah. Now let me
crush.
Let me back up for a second. So when you talk about
fastball,
yeah, exactly. But when you talk about stripping a title,
yeah,
like in the NCAA, it's really like it's nebulous. Like they're talking about you took improper benefits 8 months ago and bought your mom a car. It has no impact on what happened on a basketball court. So
well, to be literal, though, it might, because if they didn't take the benefits, they might not have gone to that school.
True, I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
But it didn't affect like
the court.
The X's and O's. How many jump shots did you make? Did you knock down those free throws at the end of the game when you needed to win the game? Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Now, if you were on another team, maybe my team didn't win, but you were on this team, you knocked them down. Right? But that didn't affect the $8,000 or $15,000 that you got in the offseason. Why couldn't the MLB strip it and give it? Because think about the games we're talking about. We're talking about the Astros and the Dodgers.
I'll tell you why. I could save you a lot of words. I'll tell you why. Because they didn't do it with steroids.
Yeah, okay.
They didn't do it with steroids. And I got to be honest here, as a fan,
wasn't steroids like tactically accepted though? It wasn't, but
this team had as many steroids. And I'm pointing to my Yankee hat for those who listen to on the radio. That's in studio. The Yankees had as many steroid abusers as anybody. So I'm not going to be disingenuous and say, and I didn't say this in real time. That's why I was never a proponent of stripping the Astros of their title, because I realize that the team behind me and others, like the A's with McGuire and Canseco, when they won it in, I guess that would have been 89 when they beat the Giants and then lost to the Reds the next year. You can't go back to the 70s and the Reds, but at least specific to like steroids, I mean, this team with the NY on their head had as many cheaters as anybody I've ever seen.
I keep thinking back to Yu Darvish and that Game 7 start, and he's just getting lit up. I mean, it's not even... It's like you feel bad for him. Like very rarely do you feel bad for athletes on the ultimate stage, the championship stage, and they're just performing horrendously. I still think back to Yu Darvish going through that, because in some ways I was kind of rooting for the Dodgers. I just wanted to see like the history come back. Yeah, and then win the championship.
Been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a really long
88,
time.
Last championship.
So no dog in the fight, but I kind of was like, oh, come on, Dodgers.
I got you.
He's just getting crushed. And I think back to that. What if there was? Yeah, that's fastball. It's coming. You know what
Probably
I mean?
was. Why should we think there wasn't?
Of course there was.
Yeah.
But
so I hear you.
It's like it's tangible. I can, like, knowing that they were cheating, I can actually go back and see how it affected the outcome of the game.
No question.
In the NCAA, I don't see how giving this dude $20,000 affected this guy dunking on you and beating you in the NCAA tournament.
Let me ask you a question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, Teak. I get it. But let me ask you a question. I know you're friends with him, but and I know you'll answer this honestly. You think Roger Clemens took steroids? Just the answer is yes.
I think he took HGH.
Or he took something.
I think he took human growth hormone. I don't think he took steroids.
But you think he took something?
I think he took something.
Okay, we know Pettit took something. Now, Pettit said that he took it to facilitate rehab, and which I don't fully believe in, even though Andy is a really good guy, man of faith, he still took it. Yankees won championships with them.
That's true.
So, again, like proving with the Yu Darvish point, whether it was this or that, it's almost immaterial. Because you would you could go 30 years in history.
Yeah, when you put it that way, you see it.
And so many people would have a beef like, hey, because I struck out 3 times against Clemens in the American League Championship Series in whatever year, and we lost by a run. Maybe I was deprived of a championship, which I can monetize now in retirement. You'd unravel the yarn, and there'd be no end.
You can't correct sports history. You can't.
No.
You can punish the teams in real time, but you can't correct sports history.
Now, let me read this to you very briefly, all right? And I don't say this flippantly. I swear. Cora might get banned from baseball.
For life.
For life.
Explain.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to deduce this report. Joel Sherman has a great article. It's up on the New York Post, right? Let's see. Okay, so it states that Cora, and there's a quote from Manfred's report, was involved in developing both the banging scheme and utilizing the replay review room to decode and transmit signs. Okay? Commissioner Manfred, now this is back to the article, said he's not going to comment on Cora's punishment yet because they're still being investigated here. But he does give you this quote: Cora participated in both schemes and through his active participation implicitly condones the player's conduct code. I will withhold determining the appropriate level of discipline until the entire investigation is done.
Wow. That sounds ominous.
That sounds far more heavy-handed than what the Astros got, and the Astros got a lot.
Yeah.
The Astros got a lot.
Is Is it explicitly stated that you won't use technology to cheat?
To my knowledge,
steal signs.
I believe that it is. Yes, because you can't have. Yes,
is it, Samter?
Yes, because you can't have the Apple Watches in the dugout. Because there was a little bit of situation with that a couple of years back.
I remember that now.
Yeah, they've made amends.
Yeah,
they've updated.
And those weren't even really. We didn't even know if that was cheating. It was just a digital watch,
like a preemptive strike, just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can't have a digital watch in the dugout. So I mean, if it's explicitly stated. And we'll find out. But if it's explicitly stated, and it would have to have been for longer than the last 5 years or so, I would assume.
Yep.
I feel like that Apple Watch thing was like when Apple Watches first came out.
Yeah, it wasn't within a 2-year window. It was probably more like 5 or 6 years ago. I'm with you.
And he did this in the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Well,
it's got to be implicitly. It has to be stated somewhere.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to ban somebody for a year, which now residually has cost him his job.
That's right.
And it's not stated somewhere, and he didn't truly break a code or something that you identified as illegal, then he would have the biggest lawsuit of anybody I know. And baseball's not dumb.
Yeah.
Every commissioner's got a legal background.
That's right.
You know, everybody. So to drop this type of punishment, there was no wiggle room for the Astros.
Yeah.
It was clear, it was stated, and it was direct, and it was bold.